Hi, I'm Dr. Cordelle Ofori. I'm a public health doctor, so I'm a consultant in public health medicine based in Manchester. Today I'm going to be watching a debate that Pi Radio did about the COVID-19 vaccine and commenting on it from my professional perspective, and also giving some confirmation on the facts about the vaccine.
Obviously restrictions have been lifted because we're trying to get back to this sort of new normal. However, that doesn't mean that you don't need to still take precautions. And I know they're probably going to throw these stats at me about, oh, the masks only help this much, but they still help. You know what I mean? And it's uncomfortable, but at the same time, when you're going in public places, you might have COVID, or the SARS-CoV-2, etc. You might have that, and you might be able to pass it on to someone who's in a lot more vulnerable position than you. And I think if you can take the precaution to wear a mask in that position, you should do.
In a lot of ways, it does feel like life has gone back to normal. You can go to the cinema, you can go to a football match, you can go out to a restaurant, you go to the shops, and now, when I go to the shops, most people aren't wearing masks. I'm often the only one. So in lots of ways, it does feel like life has gone back to normal. But at the same time, people are still getting COVID. So, anybody who's at school or college or has children at school or college will know that lots and lots of young people, especially teenagers, over the past few months have been getting COVID, and that's been causing lots of disruption to their lives and to their school lives and to their education. And the COVID rates right now are still higher than they were this time last year. So there is still a lot of COVID-19 around, but at the same time, it feels like life is going back to normal. So it can be a bit confusing in terms of, what do you do? How do you manage that? And as a public health doctor, I would say, because it is still around, we still do need to be a little bit cautious. So we don't have, laws in place anymore that put restrictions on our lives, but we still need to be considerate, both for ourselves and for our families and for our communities.
The Danes did a trial on 6,000 people regarding masks, and they found that masks don't help the spread of SARS-CoV-2. There's been, I can show you 10 massive trials that have happened all around the world that show masks are actually worse for you and build up germs in there. And you're in a pandemic about breath and respiratory systems, and you're starving your brain of oxygen. You do that for less than 3 minutes and you are already at a lower cognitive function, which means you're easily more controlled. The masks, to me, are a sign of the end of free speech.
Masks have been shown to be effective in reducing the spread of COVID from person to person. There are now research trials that have shown that masks do limit the spread. And actually, a good quality mask can also help to stop you from catching it as well. So the masks that were used in hospitals and other settings before we had a pandemic, they were designed to stop infectious diseases spreading. So we have always used masks, just not necessarily in this way in which the wider public has been expected to more recently. So masks are a really good thing to do. And then just that general hygiene, which we've talked about right from the beginning of the pandemic, in terms of regularly keeping your hands clean, washing your hands regularly, or using an alcohol rub on your hands, keeping windows open, so ventilation when you're indoors can really help to reduce the spread. And any surfaces that are touched frequently, like door handles or your phone or pens, those sorts of things that lots of people touch, keeping those clean is really, really important as well. So those general hygiene things that can stop any infectious disease from spreading are still important for COVID-19. Just have a think about who you're mixing with and how often you're mixing with people. It's difficult because we all just want life to be back to normal now. We've had enough. The past 20 months has been really, really hard, and we just want to be able to meet people, hug people, socialise, and, have a completely normal life. But it hasn't completely gone away. So each one of us just has to weigh up the risks for yourself, It may be that you spend lots of time with your family and close friends, but if you're going to be going somewhere where there are people that you don't know, that may be when you're more likely to wear a mask. That may be when you might think about the distance and the space that you put between yourself and people that you don't know. And it may be that, those are the people that you don't shake hands with and you don't have close contact with, and you reserve that for the people that you're close to. So it's all about just everybody kind of using their common sense and thinking for themselves about how to reduce the risk for themselves and the people that they're close to, because it hasn't gone away yet. And until the numbers of cases are much lower than they are now, we do all still need to be a bit cautious.